Arguello. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I make lifestyle videos that help make your life easier. If you're into that, please consider subscribing and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And stay tuned if you want to have 5 easy tips to tidy your house. What's up, guys? I'm here today to give you 5 easy tips to help keep your space tidy in the new year. My first tip is to evaluate the space. Take the time to look over the area you wish to organize and decide, is it working for you? Is it not working for you? What areas aren't functioning properly? Taking this time is necessary before starting the organizational process because you can see if the space is functioning the way that you wanted it to. This is a great time for you to reevaluate the way that you have it set up. Or maybe we need to rethink the layout or the setup of the area so that we can get the most out of the space. My second tip, you know what it is, guys. It's gonna be to declutter. Take the time to purge the area. We have all accumulated too much stuff, and so this is a great time in the new year when you're trying to get organized to take the time and declutter. It's an amazing feeling, and I know it can seem daunting at first, but once you get started, it's addictive and you want to go through the whole house. If you're needing inspiration, check out Marie Kondo's The Magical Power of Tidying Up. I mentioned it in my must-reads for 2019, and I'll link that video above, but it's a great one to get you going. My next step is clean the space. Take the time to wipe everything down, give it a good vacuum. Depending on the area, take the time to really bless that area by giving it a fresh, squeaky, clean feeling. My fourth tip is to create a new system. This is probably my favorite. As an organizational junkie, creating the system is where I get to be creative. I look at the area, see how I want it to function, and then I decide how I'm going to set it up. So after I've decluttered and cleaned the space, I look at the area and I tend to work in zones. So for example, if I'm cleaning a kitchen, I like to keep all of the like items together. So if my coffee pot is here, I like to keep all the coffee accessories, if you will, near that space. It creates a zone which makes it easier for me to keep the area stocked so I know what I need to buy. And also it's just convenient. In the morning I'm setting myself up for success because everything is right there for me. Also, when creating the new system, keep in mind who's going to be using the space. Is this a shared space with family, young children, husbands, wives? Especially if your significant other that's sharing the space with you isn't as tidy as you are. It's easy to want to kind of push everybody into our organizational system, but that usually doesn't stick. For example, creating areas or drop zones for people that aren't necessarily as organized as you is a great way to allow them to corral their items, keep them out of your way, but also it doesn't force them to be as organized and maybe as particular as we are. Also, I have teenage children, so I like to enlist their help in household chores and things like that. I also like them to keep their rooms tidy. One way that we make this easy for them is we don't have any flat sheets on our beds. I know, crazy. But it's much easier to make the bed if we have one big comforter and then a fitted sheet. All 4 now, all 4 of my children make their beds before school, and it's because we set it up to make it nice and easy for them. Also, in each of our bathrooms, I have totes that have all the cleaning supplies for that bathroom. So if their chore is to clean the bathroom, they know everything they need to do that is gonna be found under the sink. So this system was very easy to do. It costs a couple bucks. I simply just threw some cleaning supplies in a Dollar Tree trash can and I stick it under our sink. Sets everyone else up for success. I'm not running from bathroom to bathroom and neither are they. So creating these systems, you wanna make sure that you're thinking of who's gonna use the space before you do it. Also in creating the system, one of my favorite things is to label the items. Now, labeling items isn't necessarily for usually the person who's hyper organized. This is for the other members of your family to follow the system that you've set up. Now, don't overcomplicate it. It can simply be some masking tape and a marker, or if you want, you can go crazy like me and order a label maker, they're very inexpensive. I'll link down below a couple of my favorites on Amazon. Especially when you're redoing a space, it's a great way to remind yourself and those others using the space where to put things away. Once you've created the system, everything should be easily accessible and it should be very clear where the things that live in that space, where they live. For example, everything has a home. You'll notice in people that have super tidy houses, there is a spot for everything. There's even a spot for the stuff that's like, this stuff just comes in, we don't know what to do with it. So we're creating these zones and areas in your house. It's going to keep you organized and help set you up for success. Also, when implementing these new habits, I like to keep that in mind when I'm creating these zones in my house. For example, this is the area where when I wake up in the morning that I like to journal. do my devotional. There's no TV in this room. It's a great area that's been designated for me to set up those new habits and focus on keeping those new habits. You've evaluated the space, decluttered, cleaned the space, and now you've set up the new system. Now my fifth and final step, and probably the most important, is to go back and revisit the space and evaluate if it's actually working, and if not, it's time to adjust it. Reasons that systems that you've set up aren't working. Number one, we didn't really declutter properly, so there's too much stuff. Number two, maybe we overcomplicated the organizational system and we need to dial it back. Having a home for things doesn't necessarily mean it has to be alphabetized or color-coded. It can simply mean that all large utensils go in these 2 drawers. Simple enough. Company comes over, they know where to look. If you overcomplicate the area, there's chances are it's not gonna stick. So it's simple, it's aesthetically pleasing, it makes things easy to find, which that's the point, guys. That's the point of taking the time to organize and declutter. Having a clear space equates to a clear mind. And that's gonna make it easier for you to focus on things that are really important, not trying to find that t-shirt you've been looking for. I hope these tips were helpful to you. I'm excited to see all of the pictures of the new and tidied spaces. I know that this time of year inspires people. Please leave a comment below if you like these type of videos. Also, if there's a spot in your house you're having trouble with, please leave a comment below and I would love to touch on that and help you guys get organized in the new year. Hope you're having an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.